Hey guys, welcome back yet again. I'm giving Brad a look because he's giving me a look already. We haven't even started. I prayed before we started off today and I started crying as we were praying. And then Brad proceeded to say I know, I was looking at you are you crying?
I had my eyes closed and I was peeking
the Holy Spirit was moving. So I was feeling the emotion already.
I didn't mock you. I just was I wonder if she's crying, or if, I don't know.
I gotta look up and open my eyes.
Yeah,
I gotta look,
engage
the emotion.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to be with you guys. We are actually getting a chance to record a little bit early. By the time you guys hear this, we'll be done, but we're preparing right now for a speaking event this weekend in DC.
Yep.
We are hoping to meet some of you guys there.
Super excited.
That would be amazing. And
did I sound excited when I said that?
No.
Super excited.
Very excited. Honestly, to be honest with you, it takes about 5 minutes for you to have emotion on the podcast. The first 5 minutes, you're just kind of yep. And then you kind of give me a look and stroke your beard. And then all of a sudden you're in it to win it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to do different.
And then I told you I'll just keep rambling, and that's never good. But anyways, we are really excited for this weekend. But I know that both Brad and I have just felt attacked by the enemy, in various ways leading up to this too. And so it's just, we would appreciate prayers. I mean, I know the event will be over, but just prayers in general, because we just have definitely felt attacks in various areas of our life for sure.
Yeah,
it's been interesting.
Heavy.
Yeah, but it's also so good to just recognize that we know God is moving. Where the enemy attacks, it's because we get a chance to just have a front row seat to God's transformation, and so we're looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to not being sick with some random.
Yeah, I know you've been sick a month.
It has been a long time that I have not felt myself. Yep. Got sick in Argentina. And for those of you guys who have listened to us for any period of time, I am a natural girl. So if I can take care of it naturally, I will.
Yeah.
And it tells you it got bad enough this weekend that I am on antibiotics right now, which, by the way, carries its own set of consequences.
Yeah. But I'm fine with you being crunchy, right?
Thank you.
I am. I like it. I do like.
Why do you sound like you're trying to convince yourself? I like it.
I like the oils.
It's fine.
The food. I like all that. It's good. I know it's good for. I know
he's not trying to convince you. He's trying to convince himself, guys.
But I will say, antibiotics,
they're there for a reason.
is there for a reason.
Yeah. When I started periodically spiking fevers randomly, I decided it was time.
You were about to say spiritual.
What?
It sounded like
periodically.
Yeah.
Then I realized there was just something more going on. Yeah. So anyways, definitely ready to feel better. And we are just trusting that God's going to do some big things this weekend, all around.
I mean, that's all I could think of, because I'm just this heaviness, my brain. So I think this has surprised some people and my family. But my brain, we've talked about this before, the whole ADHD, whatever, right? But I feel like right now, my brain is just bouncing all over the place.
What is it? The pinball machines? That's those old fashioned, those.
I know what you're talking about. Those are so cool.
Yeah, but is that what your brain feels like? Where it's the ball inside, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. This thought, that thought, this thought, this thing, that thing. It's wild. That's how it's felt. So we prepared for plenty of speaking events. This isn't even what our topic is on.
Yeah.
But we prepared for plenty of speaking events. And one, I've always said I was nervous, but then I had a good friend of mine. He's this, guru and all these these type of things. Yeah, he's a super guru, and he works with people in like my field, right? And he told me once, he was like, I was about to go up and speak, and he's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, I think this was at a men's event or something. And I was like, oh man, I'm nervous, but it's good. Like I think that's good to be nervous, like trying to hype myself up. And he's like, let me ask you a question. He goes, when you're about to do something at work, right? Like the serious stuff, you're about to do something. He's like, what do you feel? And I was like, oh man, I get excited, cause we've trained, we've rehearsed, we've done all these things. Like I get super excited. And he's like, all right, well, what does that feel like? And he's like starting to dig in, like we're having a little session before I get up on stage. And he's like, I'm
psychoanalyzing
you
he's
like,
now.
I've started to dig in. And then he like stops me as I'm digging in. He's like, does it feel like you feel now? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, you're excited. He's like, nervous is negative. Excited is positive.
I have almost the same feeling.
Yeah. He's like, you're excited. You've prepared for this, right? And I'm like, yeah, obviously, so we've prepared for a lot of different speaking events, and it's all been, God just giving us the words and, preparing beforehand, rehearsing and doing all those things to be ready. And this one, I'm just like, man, I have it all down. And then my brain is like firing off on all these different places. And right now I don't feel excited. I do feel nervous.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, let me clarify it out. But I don't know, what, I just feel like you're saying it's like this, the enemy, and just
the enemy. And I do think actually this does kind of lead into our topic a little bit, because through all of it, and we're going to be talking about just kind of consistency versus intensity today. And through this, like, we have to just have that consistency and, to continue to dive in and to take time. And
so
it does
roll into our message.
It does. Like, who knew?
I did.
Okay.
I knew this whole time.
And I didn't even like plan the softball. Like, you always say I throw you a softball and you never catch it. And now I just did again and you still didn't catch it. And you just looked at me. I said it wrong, didn't I?
You're so cute. Oh gosh. No, if you're if you use the softball analogy, it's for me to hit it.
Yeah, but I'm saying
not catch it.
Did I say catch?
Yes, you're like, I threw you a softball and you're not catching it.
Okay. Listen, guys, you listen to us, I will always do a saying part way right.
I mean, yeah, the rabbit trail one I thought was 100% like you, and then
you found out it's an actual
I've
saying.
Heard it from stage, and I'm like, oh, okay.
And also, FYI, he had to hear it from someone else to believe it was an actual thing.
You.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I know
you
you're the only one
should
that
probably
says it.
not agree that fast with something like that.
You're the only one that said it before. So, of course, if you say it again, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what she said. Yeah.
Anyways, but yes, I do think this particular topic actually plays out in every area of our life. But just thinking about us where we're at right now, the consistency, I know we're both tired. Our brains are going on overtime. Physically, I'm depleted. You're depleted. And this element of getting up and doing the things consistently matters.
I think, like, as, we were talking about just preparing, rehearsing, and, doing all these things, like, and then equating it to marriage, but it's also, yes, this consistency over intensity. Like, there's times where intensity needs to be there.
For sure.
Absolutely, right? Like this extreme focus, intensity. But consistency, I want to say, we're gonna wrestle this out. I want to say consistency will always win.
Yeah.
Right? Like, well, consistency in the right direction, right? The right kind of consistency.
Well, probably wins in the wrong direction too.
Yeah, that's true. So it can kind of go both ways. But I really do feel that because, like, I'm thinking right now at work, we're in the middle, we're almost at the end of our phase 1 of our selection course, right? We started out with 70 plus dudes. Right now there's 16 guys left. And people were cut on purpose, but then there's also this other group of people that have left. And it ends up being about half and half of people that performance drops versus people that quit. Right. And what I'm noticing is the people that are there, they're just like consistently putting one foot in front of the other, you know, picking up the heavy things, just consistently just moving, just moving, right? That, like, by now in the course, there's no real intensity. Like they just can't, they don't have it.
Physically, it's just not there.
It's not there. It's this consistent thing. But if I look back at these guys that are still here from day one to now, and you can draw a line, and it's going to be this very steady, consistent line of what they're doing. None of them have been this super high and then super low. They've just been this consistent, steady line of like, my goal is this. I'm here. This is what I have to do. Right?
Well, it makes sense, because if you think about if we live for intensity in any area in our life, then we actually end up sabotaging ourselves and our situations and relationships, right? Like if you think about it in faith, if we live for just the intensity, right? Then when things are rough, or when you feel like God is silent for a season, or when you feel like, you know, God didn't answer your prayer, or whatever that looks like, if you have no consistency, then it's really easy to just, oh, well, is this even real? Right. And you go to church service and you only go to the church that makes you feel like the spiritual high every single week. And then as soon as you don't feel that, you're like, oh, I'm done. And you're not even paying attention as to whether or not they are actually giving God's word, or, you know, actually helping you walk out being a disciple. And if you think about it in marriage, I think a lot of people get into a marriage thinking that it's going to have the intensity of the dating relationship.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. And also throughout your marriage, you have these moments like honeymoon. That's intense.
I hope it was intense for you if it was your honeymoon.
In a good intense. We're talking about good intensity this whole time. Okay. Not intense of like, oh my gosh.
Like, we fought the entire time.
No, but you know, you're the wedding, intense moments, right?
Yeah.
The dating up to intense moments, the wedding intense, honeymoon intense, right? And then you get back, and now you kind of, the intensity starts to wane because you start life, right? And this isn't bad, no, at all. Like this is
where consistency matters.
This is life, right? You start off, but then like you go on a vacation, then it's intense again, you know. So it's if you're trying to match those highs of those intensity moments, you're going to miss out, and you're going to start straining out your marriage, because you're going to start questioning everything. It really does equate spiritually big time. So I was thinking when you were talking about this, you know, you have youth camps, you have, like straight youth camps where you go somewhere, you have like special events at a church. You have, our son that we just on the last episode, right? 6 months of intense spiritual times, right? You know, like basically training and laying this foundation, 3 months of intense training and laying down this foundation and learning and absorbing and figuring all this out, and then going and doing 3 months of like basically everything we learned now we're going to put into action for 3 months. And it's just this intensity. That group even comes back. And how long are they back? Oh, is it just a week?
I don't know what you're going to say.
They get back, and for a week they're...
Oh, yeah. Debrief.
Yeah, they debrief for a week, which, I mean, it could even be longer. There's like studies that talk about all that stuff, but they debrief for a week, which is great. And it's a guided debrief. It's not just like, let's just hang out and, you know, do whatever. But that helps them step back into this life, this normal, the consistency of, okay, I just, you know, I was trained to do this, and I saw all these things and all these people saved and this fire for Christ, and I could still have that fire when I get back. But now I have to realize that it's not going to be necessarily every day is not going to be the 3 months that I was gone.
Yeah. Or that everybody around me doesn't have that same intensity that I want them to have, you know, and in marriage too, right? It's like there are moments where we have this intensity that we want somebody to be like, I need you to have this intensity with me. And it's so difficult when you feel like your spouse is just like, no, like not there with you, and you're having to maintain consistency through that. But I think it is so relevant in literally every single area. And not that those moments of intensity are bad. I think that's, and we want to make sure we clarify that. It's like youth camps, they're great. You know, missions, they're great. Vacations, awesome.
Yeah.
Like do those things. It's just, you can't build your life on the intense moments and think that every part of your life should imitate
if you're
that.
building your faith on what happened, like, I mean, I went to a lot of youth camps growing up. And if you're building your faith on those experiences that you had at youth camp, then you're going to be, it's not a false faith, but you're going to be disappointed. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to go back to your church, and it might be great, like a great church, but you're going to be disappointed because it's like this intense focus for a week or however many days your camp is. And then you go back and then it's just, this is normal. You know, I think it was when our daughter got back, she was like, it's super weird. She had a hard time actually being back. And she said, it's really weird because I went and saw these things and I changed. Like, you know, spiritually, right? I changed. I saw these things, and I'm back, and really, it's just like everyone's the same. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's like a time capsule that you come back to, where you've experienced all these things, and nobody else experienced them with you. But I do think, tell me what you feel is a good way. I'll break it down. Like one step to take.
Oh, you're breaking it down.
I did say that. I wanted to hear that every time. I just need to get better about this. Just randomly saying it so that I can hear Brad do that. Break it down. It makes me laugh. Anyways, give me a step that you feel in both faith and marriage and parenting that is a key to being consistent.
Can you say all that again?
Oh, no. Just one step in each of those areas that you feel is a key to being consistent in faith, marriage, and parenting.
I feel like Gage. Like
they can cross over. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like,
gosh, you know, yeah, I'll tell you the answer that came to me right away for all three. And wow. So my wife, as I'm speaking, is getting, she's acting all crazy because my mic was a little far away, but my headphones were in and it sounded normal.
Interesting.
So, I know, it's super interesting. But the first answer that came to me, and this is, to me, it feels like a super cop-out answer. That's why I second guess myself. But then I'm like, maybe this isn't, I shouldn't second guess myself. Like, this is what came up, is to show up in all three of those. You know, I don't, like, I feel like that's like a pretty elementary answer.
But
I'm not saying that to get like praise from you.
No, I don't think you are. I'm just saying like that. It may sound like a simple answer, but like the living out of that is really hard.
Yeah, but it's showing up in all three of those aspects. I mean, and if you're married and have kids, like this is your life, right? This is spiritually, as you know, just you have your spiritual walk with Christ and leading your family, and then your marriage and your kids, like
your ministry.
The biggest thing is showing up. You know, there's so many absent, and it's not fathers only. There's so many absent parents. Mm-hmm. They're physically there, but they're absent in so many areas. it does go back to like, are you letting, don't feel bad if you're a parent and your kids watch TV. Like my kids watch TV, it's fine. But are you letting the TV babysit all the time? Right?
Yeah. Or actually train your kids.
Because there's times, believe me, I want to like put that baby right there, turn on some,
the baby. Like there's a 2-month-old. Like, put that baby in front of the TV.
I don't know. Some like
Brad just slinging babies in front of the TV.
Well, I don't even know what shows there are now. Like, but anyway, just sit right here and watch this. I need a break. I get that, 100%. So I'm not. Don't think like we're super, super parents or anything like that. That's we 100% understand. The breaks and things like that, but showing up, in your faith, show up, your walk with Christ, show up. Like you expect Christ to show up whenever you're, whenever you pray, whenever you're having a rough time, whenever you're all these things, you're about to walk into this meeting, you're about to do this, and you expect Christ to show up. Like that is what we do, right?
So true.
You do. If I call on him, I'm like, where you at? Like I expect you to be here. I'm
calling out an intensity.
Yeah, I'm calling you. Like,
I expect an intense response.
And then it's like, man, really, flip that. Also, are you showing up? Are you allowing time to be with Christ? Are you allowing time to pray? Are you allowing time to do devotions? And we've said this so many times on this. On our podcast, in coaching, and all of these things, but it's like you need to make time. There is time.
It's true
for you to sit there and be with Christ. Show up. That's what I'm talking about. Showing up. Like you need to show up,
physically show up.
And there's times I'm not gonna lie. There's times it's a grind, right? I know I was challenged inadvertently. Not even like hey, you need to do this. I was just challenged by a friend of mine that he grew up with his dad. His dad was a pastor. He grew up with his dad reading Proverbs every morning. Every morning. Without fail. Like it was just something they did. Reading Proverbs. So when he told me that, and he's like, to this day, I still read Proverbs every day. Right? Whether, I don't know if I need to ask him because I don't know if he reads a chapter and then, what exactly how he breaks down, but it doesn't matter. He just reads Proverbs every single day. And I got challenged by that. And so I started doing that, reading Proverbs. And I can't.
Now Brad randomly shouting out Proverbs in the middle of
I did actually. I did do that to my daughter. It was actually pretty funny. I don't remember which one it was, but it was actually pretty funny.
Something about not listening to advice.
Yeah.
Like good. A fool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny.
A fool doesn't listen to wisdom.
She was like, "Oh wow, Dad." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't say that. The Bible says that."
If the Bible offends you.
But so I've been doing that consistently. I just finished. And I went back to chapter 1 and I started again today. But what's interesting to me is I haven't told you this while I was doing this. Like, yeah, there's these, it kind of starts out like as one. Yeah, and I'm like, I should probably go to school to do this. But it kind of starts out, it breaks it down. I should learn how it's broken down. But at some point, it's just like one-liners,
That's definitely the term.
Yeah.
One-liners.
Is it? Okay. It's just like one-liners. And they're great.
Yeah, there is so much wisdom.
So much wisdom. That's what the whole book is about, is gaining wisdom. And I'm like, well, I want wisdom. And why am I not, I'm asking God for wisdom. Why am I not reading what's already written? And so that's what got me started in it. But yeah, you get deeper in the chapters and all of a sudden it's like this, this one line, one scripture. Then you go to the next verse.
It's like, whoa.
And it's totally, it doesn't equate to the verse above or below. It's just, it's its own thing. And during that time, there was these moments of like, I'm just kind of reading and and believe me, like I am showing up to understand. Like that is what I want. That's why I'm doing this. I'm like, I want to understand more. And so as I'm doing this, there are things I still underline. There might be a verse I sit on for a little bit as I'm reading it, but there are times where I'm just kind of reading it and I'm allowing myself to do that because it's the discipline of it. It's the showing up where I'm like, okay, throughout this whole thing, it says, if you're seeking wisdom and ask God for wisdom, he's going to give it to you. Right. And that's what I'm doing. So if some of that is just reading those scriptures and not really understanding it yet, then I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to read them again. And, you know, if I need to dig in more, I will dig in more. But I'm just kind of doing this because I'm like, I want to show up in that.
But I think it's so good, because I think this is where a lot of people give up when they read the Bible, is because they're looking for those moments of intensity. And if we're honest with ourselves, we look for either a sound bite that makes us feel good about scripture, or we look for a verse that makes us feel good. And Google is so good at that, right? Like, I want this one verse that helps me to feel better about the situation that I'm in. Or we have a devotion that is tailored to exactly what it is that we're feeling in that moment. And not that those are bad places to start, so don't hear me wrong, but we like train our brain that we only have to read the things that we understand, or we only have to read the things that make us feel better.
And that's dangerous.
And so there is this element of like the discipline of the wading through of the wrestling out of reading the entire Bible and knowing that it's meant to show us the Jesus throughout, which I love so much. Like when you really start digging into the Old and New Testament. But I mean, I know people that will say, I don't read the Old Testament, or they don't want to read certain books of the Bible because it does not bend to their worldview. And that is scary.
Wild.
It's scary.
It is so wild. And
because they were like, God, I'd like you to get on board with my plan, instead of like, God, what's your plan?
And that's a whole thing we can get into, because that's why you have, you know, these denominations that are like, this is wild. And listen, I'm not against denominations at all. But there are some now that it's like, this is not,
like, it's dangerous.
Like Paul would be writing you a letter. I'm just saying, like Paul
writing you a letter, guys.
Paul would be writing.
Most of the time he wasn't nice to you.
I mean,
Sometimes
it is wild, but it is that if I've based everything just off the intense moments I've had with Christ, and I keep chasing those, like there's going to be a time where I get tired of chasing it, because I'm like, well,
and then
where
you're just
is
like,
it?
God's not talking to me anymore. He's silent. I'm not going to do this anymore. And I'll just get on Instagram and scroll through and find that little thing that makes me either laugh, or the preacher that makes me feel good. And this is where like that consistency, that showing up in your spiritual life is actually what builds your faith and helps you to learn what truth is, you know, instead of it just being where it's like, I think that's the truth. That sounds right. Maybe that's good.
I mean, even like marriage, right? So showing up in your marriage, this intensity, you know, consistency over intensity. It's if I could do these grand gestures, you know, Valentine's Day. Oh, we're going to have this huge, you know, woo, it's Valentine's Day.
What is woo?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we don't do Valentine's Day.
I'm just curious, like, what was in your head when you're like, woo?
Like, I don't know, like big flowers and chocolates and hearts and, you know, whatever. It's crazy, you know, but.
Brad's like a truck.
Yeah. But it's just crazy that's like, people won't do anything.
Until that day. Right.
And
that's supposed to make up
or
for.
until an anniversary,
right.
or even some people get crazy until like it's not even an anniversary. It's like, oh, this is the first time we dated or something. It's weird.
Brad,
it's weird too.
There's people that are like, they're genuinely excited about that. Let them have their moment.
They can have them. I'm just saying, I think it's odd. Like, I imagine all the dates you have to remember. Then that probably causes conflict, because then this one spouse doesn't remember. Like, I don't remember the first date. I remember what we did. I don't remember the day. I don't expect you to remember all these things. Gosh, right?
24 years of marriage advice right here, guys.
Yeah. So, but they're waiting for these moments to have these grand gestures, when it's like, those are cool.
Yeah.
Have them, right? On Valentine's Day, it's a lot of money for no reason, but have them. But remember, you've taken away my
yes,
my gifts.
I'm so sorry.
You've drowned it out. Like it's
I
like
starved
a
it.
plant that never got watered. It's just shriveled up into nothing. So
I gave you gifts. They're just not monetary.
yes, yeah, that's true. But yeah, if you're just doing these grand gestures all the time, and there's nothing in between it, so you're chasing intensity because those days are intense. Like they're fun, they're great. Like we're celebrating our the day we got married. We're celebrating our birthdays. We're celebrating these times that are just they should be celebrated, and it's a little extra.
I feel like the other side of that is you're chasing intensity because you're just like making up for the fact that you haven't been consistent. And so you're like, oh, okay, but like, I'm this day will make up for the fact that for the last 2 months, we haven't even kissed, and I'm certainly not taking you on a date, and our sex life is atrocious. But like, it's Valentine's Day, and I love you, and here's a card, and here's the roses and the chocolate, and it's like, there's nothing behind it.
Yeah, it's just like apologetic.
Yeah, it's like these moments of intensity should replace consistency.
Yeah,
and that's not good.
I equate it to when we first started kind of talking about this. I do, and a lot of times I equate things to this, but I equate it to working out, right? So lifting weights specifically, any workouts, but specifically those kind of any workout doesn't matter. I just lift weights a lot. So
I pick things up.
Yeah, and put them down. Sometimes I feel like that. But that's in my head. But with that, like I'll have some workouts that are intense. Like they become intense, more intense than a normal workout, right? So for rating, all my workouts have some level of intensity. But I'll have those, like if you've ever worked out, you have those workouts that are like, man, that was great, right?
I always know when yours are because I hear you shout from inside the garage.
Shout? I don't shout.
Woo! Like, that's when I know. And I'll hear it many times, and I know.
I get excited. That was a good workout. That was a good set. But I don't have those every day. Like, and so then that becomes that consistency or that grind of like, no, I'm showing up. My goal is this. This is what I'm going to do. And today was not good in my head.
My standard.
Yeah. What I think today's not a good workout. But I've also read books on this and done things with this where guys have said, like these trainers have said, while you're following this, if you're feeling worn out, go in and just do this thing and then leave and be okay with that. Because then what'd you do? Consistency, right? You stepped in, you showed up, did the important piece and then left. And then you allowed yourself like, it's okay. Because I mean, we've even tracked this at work where it's like you have a great workout, you have a great training session, you have a great everything, and the next day you're kind of feeling down because you didn't sleep well or whatever, and it's like, don't do what's supposed to be on the schedule. You need to start doing something else. You need to do these other things because your body's it's not even going to adapt to this. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Give yourself a rest, but you're still showing up to do something, right? So it's this, in a marriage, you want that strong marriage that's that can withstand the storms, that can withstand the times of busyness where you don't get this full connection with your spouse, the times where your focus shifts from marriage, because sometimes this happens where your focus shifts from marriage to whatever else is going on, right? We've had some intense moments and times and seasons with our kids, and our marriage didn't take 100% a back seat, but a lot of focus went to that, right? Versus the usual focus we have on our marriage. And without consistency in building these things, then during those times, that's starting to create a crevice. Right. And it'll start getting bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden you're standing on either side of this crevice trying to figure out, is it even possible to build a bridge? and who's going to start building it first? And then
do I want to build it?
And then you're like, well, if we can bring back this time where we both felt this, which was probably, a vacation, the honeymoon or whatever. And it's like, well, if we could just go back and like recreate this, then that will build this bridge and we'll get back together. And it's like, that might help a little bit, but what's going to end up happening is you're going to go back to your normal day to day and realize that nothing really fixed.
Yeah. The way that I think as you're talking that I would word it is that you have consistency so that you can enjoy intensity as it's meant to be enjoyed, and also withstand intensity when it is in more of a negative context. Because intensity is going to come on both sides, right? Like both an intense joy and intense sorrow. If you have consistency, then when you have that intense joy, you're just free to experience it in that moment. And it's not to replace 6 months of, no connection. It's not to try to all of a sudden remember that you're married. It's like, now I can just enjoy this really, this intense moment, like in a beautiful way, as I really think God's designed it to be. And on the other side of that, when you're experiencing intense pain or sorrow, the consistency helps you to withstand those things. It's like, now we know, like even in our intense seasons, we've gone through a lot of them. We know, like, but we're solid. We are linking arms. We're fighting with each other, not fighting for each other, not with each other. We're fighting the enemy, right? Like we're not going to allow a gap to form with us, because we're very aware, and because of the consistency that we've developed over years and years, it's why that showing up matters so much, and it will require sacrifice. I think that's the other piece of it and I think why people don't show up is the sacrificial piece that behind that is it's just like your time, energy, finances.
I don't understand any of that, like the non-sacrifice. I'm not perfect at this, but what I don't understand about it is that every single thing you do requires a sacrifice in some sort of way, right? Or sacrifice, not a sacrifice. It's not like we're getting an animal and killing it. Like it's, a sacrifice. Everything you do, there's sacrifice. Even if you're selfish, there's some kind of sacrifice, and so it's
I just think it depends on what people are willing to sacrifice. And it's like, I feel like there's a level that people are willing to go to that's like a natural level. And then there's the extension of like dying to self, or placing other people before yourself in a way that's not natural. And I don't think many people like to do it because it's uncomfortable or it's not fair. Those are like the biggest things.
Life is not fair.
Life is not fair. But I mean, you so often get into it. It's like, well, if they would, if she would,
I know.
If he would, right? Well, if he would talk to me like that, if she wouldn't talk to me like that, if she, it's like the constant back and forth of, well, I only will. It's the contractual love, right? Like I will if you do, and I won't if you.
I guess I'm kind of looking at it like if you're being selfish, you're sacrificing your marriage, you're sacrificing your spouse.
That's a good way. So you are sacrificing something. Yeah. I see what you're saying now.
Where, people are like, I just don't, that's why I don't get it. It's like, well, I don't want to sacrifice. Well, you're sacrificing something.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a good way to put it. I wasn't thinking of it that way till you said that.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Yeah, you are. And are you willing to do that?
I mean, your actions, right? The fruit.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's
true.
But it's don't chase intensity in the sense, like if you're consistent, plan for those things. Right. Like I like spiritually, I love it when there's this, it's always consistency that leads to it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll consistently be showing up. Right. And then there's times I'm doing devotional and I either hear something or I read something and all of a sudden it just like slams into me.
Right.
And I have this intense moment of realization, of understanding. and this like flooding of like Jesus.
Yeah.
Right. And I break down and I cry. And it's just this, but I can't get that all the time. Like, yes, my testimony is based off of an intense moment with Christ, right? 100%. But that was also because of people consistently praying for me and interceding for me for that to happen.
Yeah.
So yes, God can step in and do all the things all the time. But I believe that your consistent walk with Christ is what's going to lead to these intense moments with him.
That's so good.
Right? Your consistent walk with your spouse, it's going to lead to these intense moments with them. I'm showing up consistently day in, day out, doing things that I want to do, doing things that I like 24/7 marriage, right? Doing things I get to do, right? It's not I have to do these things. These are things I want and get to do consistently. And then I'm going to have these built up intense moments, like good intensity, right?
Yeah.
Same with your parenting, right? If I don't consistently show up for these kids, how is it that I'm going to impart some wisdom and have these intense moments with them?
True.
Because I see something where it's like, oh, this is a good learning point. Sit down, son. And it's like, he's like, well, yeah, but where you been?
Yeah. Or did you show that to me in my life?
Yeah. You know, like where
like
have you
consistently, was that who you were?
Yeah,
like, don't try to teach me now.
This whole time, and now you're pointing out something and trying to give me like a wisdom nugget, you know. But if I'm consistently there, showing up, and how that looks different in all seasons of your life,
and with every kid.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I'm consistently there, then there's going to be these learning moments and these intense, fun moments and intense moments where we get closer together. And they're going to be phenomenal. But I can't get that. I can't, you know, it is a lot like, and I feel, you know, I have this, I feel for this, right? This is not I'm not degrading someone or saying anything negative about it. I feel for this. It hurts, but it is like these, you know, the dad or the mom that only gets to see their kid, you know, and spend a weekend with them every month or whatever, however that looks. And in that weekend, what do they try to do, generally speaking?
Intensity. Is
do these intense things. Like we're going to go, like we're doing everything.
Yeah.
I'm shoving a whole month into 2 days and we're doing this and I'm trying to build this for you. Now, there are parents that are divorced, then they have healthy parenting, right? And I would argue that I would look at those people that are divorced that have these healthy parenting, you know, habits with their kid they don't live with, that they're consistently showing up throughout the month. Maybe not physically, but they're there in some way, right? And, you know, court order, whatever, right? But they're there in some way for that kid. And so they might be having these intense weekends of shoving a lot in because that's like one-on-one time, but it's not because they're trying to make up for a week or a month of, I may have texted you once or twice. And so now this is my weekend. Like, let's shove it in and get as much done as we can. You're not going to build that. Like, it's not healthy, right? It's the same thing with your kids at home. Like, I can't just all of a sudden be quote unquote absent and then show up and go like, hey, we're doing this and we're going to bond and this is going to be amazing and all these things are going to happen, and then expect it to happen. And when we go out camping or we go out, you know, doing whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, it was really not much. Like we had little moments, but there was really nothing profound about what happened, right? And then it's like, oh, well, I'll just go back to my, you know, Monday's coming around, now it's normal. In all aspects of your life, the consistency is what builds to the intensity.
Well, yeah, and I think, you know, I'm thinking about our kids because we've gone through faith and we talked about marriage, and with your kids, it's like that element of, you know, we're now grandparents, we're, you know, we have 2 adult children. One of the joys of my life is that the consistency that we showed up for our kids as they grew up facilitates that. There's rarely a day that I do not hear from our kids, that we get a chance to talk to our kids, and so thankful for technology. Now, when Gage is traipsing all over the world, it's a little bit different, but if he's stateside, we typically hear from him in some way, shape, or form every day. Now his conversations may be much more simplistic than our daughters, and he may say fire a lot in them, but
lock in.
Yeah, lock in. But I'm so thankful for that. Like this is, when Gage lived here, I mean, and he's here right now, but there was rarely a time before he would drive home that he did not call and we did not pray before he came home.
Yeah.
And that was just like his thing. Like he knew, like, I'm going to call mom, like, hey mom, about to head home. We pray. Yeah. And then he heads home. It's just the consistency of those relationships. It's like what I see so many people doing is they want that relationship with their kids as an adult, but they don't want to go through the consistency that it takes to actually build that. Mm-hmm. And, because it is hard. It is seasons that are hard. It is sacrifice. It is that showing up over and over again. And man, that is not easy. But this is so good in all of it, right? You mentioned it in the beginning. It's like, you have to recognize like there's something you're going towards.
Yeah.
And you have to consistently take steps towards it. You don't just gain a relationship with your adult child in a day.
No. Yeah, absolutely not. Like I want my kids, when they move out, I want them to want to connect with us.
Yeah, not feel obliged, to not feel like, oh, okay, well, I guess we got to go. That. I want them to crave
and
that.
Started when they were little. Mm-hmm. And don't like have, even in your marriage and your walk with Christ, like as we're saying this, you can start now.
For sure. Absolutely. Like, be consistent now.
It's about, showing up, just that simple answer, right? All the answers I give, I feel are super simple. I feel like I never have these like, like the King James Version answers, right? It's just like these simple answers
that's just what Jesus always does.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus.
No. But I mean, like, he makes it like, I want us to get it.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like, the answers are simple, and we've talked about this, but the execution is not easy, right? We point back to Jesus, and, someone's having a lot of problems in their life and things like that. And it's like, man, you need to run back to Christ. You need to bring this to Jesus. Like, he's the answer. He's what you need.
Yeah.
Open the Bible, and it's all like these simple quote unquote answers. They're just hard to execute.
Absolutely.
Right? So showing up on the surface is a simple answer, but that's a discipline, and it's being obedient, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to do this every single day in and day out. I'm going to grind this out. But man, there's so much beauty in that. Mm-hmm. Like there's so much beauty in that. You're building relationships. You're building the most important relationship you could have, right? Like I'm getting up and I'm, quote unquote, grinding out my devotions, right? That I'm building this relation. I'm chasing after Christ. Like that's the relationship I want. And I want that to be as close as it can be. And I want to keep running and keep running, keep running. I want to consistently do that. I want to show up and just keep pushing. Like I want to build that relationship. I want to build a relationship with my wife. I have to be there. Mm-hmm. I have to do the little things. I have to do the big things. I have to do all these things. But I just go back to like in every aspect of your life, consistency is going to lead to intensity. Yeah. Period. Like you're going to have negative intent. Well, I think it could be negative and positive with all of it, right? Yeah, consistently bad is going to lead to moments of intensity. A moment of intense battle of horrible things happening, right? So it could be either way, but I can't. I'm just trying to think in all aspects of my life. How old am I? 45.
What? 47.
47, and I don't know. I don't even count anymore. No, in all aspects of my life, I'm 47 years old. I'm thinking back of all these aspects of my life, and everything that brought every intense moment, good and bad, came from consistent steps to that direction. Right? Every single one.
Yeah.
The being successful in the field I'm successful in came from consistently showing up and doing the things, and it got me through to the goal I wanted, right? To this intense moment of making it, right? And then starting over again, because it's never ending, right? It's all these things. But in every moment, every significant thing in my life, good and bad, there was consistency that led to intensity. And so if you want these great, intense, have this intensity in your marriage, this passion, have this passion in your walk with Christ, all these things, you want all these things to be stronger, you want all these things to happen. It's not going to happen unless you're consistent in what you do. And that is consistency trumps intensity every single time.
Yeah, I agree with you. So challenge for the week?
Be consistent. I don't know. You do the challenge. I don't know the challenge for the week.
Well, I think you mentioned just like show up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can look at an area, you may feel like, okay, I show up. Yeah, I get up and I read my devotions every day. Like I'm showing up, right? Or yeah, I show up for my kids. But then you recognize, like, do you show up like that for your husband, or are you showing up like that for your wife? And so I think there's always an area that we need to look at and assess and say, am I showing up like God wants me to show up here? And I think that's the question that you need to ask, because it's not about, am I showing up the way I want to here? And I think there's a very big distinction. And that's where I think a lot of people end up sabotaging themselves, is they just show up the way they want to.
Yeah.
So ask God, like, how do you want me to show up in this area? Okay. We'll see you next week.